Welcome to Optimistic Insight. This world we create is not always the reality that we deserve. Do you feel like sometimes you suffer from anxiety, physical pain, ailments, and even emotional imbalance? Maybe it's just the reality that you've created from your internal dialogue. Every day we write the story to our life, but we never ask ourselves, what is the context of the words we are using? What do these words even mean internally to us, and how are they settled into the tone for my story? Well, it could just take a different point of perspective to gain another insight into what these words actually create for us. Welcome to Optimistic Insight. Welcome to another episode of Optimistic Insight. I want to thank you guys for tuning in today. We have another special one for you. And as you know, here on Optimistic Insight, we like to take shifts through storytelling and relating to different words and seeing a different perspective on how we actually utilize those words and bring in taking a broader and wider omnipresent sight from the mystic within. Today's word that we're going to be looking at and taking a deeper insight into is going to be contribution. So just listen to that word and just let it settle into your body and see really what comes up for you. What does it mean to contribute? What does the word contribution mean to you? Does it mean something that you are doing? Is it something that you are receiving? Kind of feel out this word and bring some directionality to it. And if you're sitting down in a meditation, which is something I advise people to do while listening to this, it can be a very good meditative and storytelling to rewrite these different words and to just really check in and dive deeper into the somatics of how these words actually resonate in our body. So the word contribution actually has a meaning of a gift or payment to a common fund or collection. Now, we're not going to be looking at just the Webster's dictionary version of this. We want to look at our version of this. And I like to point out, just in the word contribution, you have this word tribe sitting right in the middle. And it really, for me, resonated a lot with giving and service and what we actually give from. So with this story, I want to really just dive into what we are actually giving and the resources that we have and how we can really tune differently to that irreplenishable place from a replenishable type of currency within this society. Opening ourselves up to these abundant resources within and really contributing that to the world that we exist in. So today's story is going to be called Paying All Your Attentions. When we're cooked for in a restaurant, we pay our bill, we pay our gas, we pay for living quarters, and we even pay for the devices that we're glued to. We use this word pay to describe a transference of currency for goods or sometimes bads. A currency that has no actual universal value, but one that is set by an institution which fluctuates upon request and can be acquired over and over again at the same value, decreased or increased. Now, when we take a look at the currency that can never be replenished, such as time, energy, and attention, we use this term so loosely and blindly. We don't pay attention to the things that matter most, that are normally in front of us. Our kids, a loved one, a suicidal coworker, or even the words that we verbalize throughout the day that we use with these individuals. But rather than fixing our attention towards the direction that we intend for matter to grow, we don't spend our time on the things we love, but we choose to spend our time on the fabrications of what we've come to accept love from. Instead of sharing our time with the experiences and the beauty of life as it is naturally happening for us, we spend our energy working towards someone else's dream 5 days a week, in which we need to enable a coping mechanism for 2 days just to keep it up, rather than asserting it towards our own dream because we've been conditioned to devalue our dreams more than the actual dollar, which is then traded for the unreplenishable resources that build our dreams. If we looked at time, energy, and attention as we do the paper currency we carry so loosely in our wallets, or that invisible electrical strip of status, we would be so much more careful about how we diversified our bonds with other beings. We don't say, "Pay attention to me," or demand it inherently by crying as a baby when it can't verbalize exactly what it's craving. What we do is spend the money on the things that attract that attention, as silent cries in the mall with these Mercedes, Fendi, and flashy wear. Pay me attention because I've paid so much for these things, and now I need your attention because I've contributed all mine to these things. Wow. We are born universally with this innate sense of value, and it is held within these things that we have been conditioned to devalue and accept as a way of life, without even giving the thought to the fact that our life is just that, ours, and we can create it, deem what we choose valuable, and are made of the material of love, not the monetized love we've come to know. It's really a matter of the resources we use, the attention, time, and energy that can't be printed versus the money that can be. When we decide what we are choosing to swap for a valid contribution towards life is what truly determines what and how our life is oriented towards. When we are confident in the value of what's deserved, we attract what is meant for us. When we give in to the devaluation of divine right, we are disregarding our very own power to deserve our power of self. You are deserving. You are rich and abundant. It's yours to claim. Next time someone asks you to pay attention, take that as a signal that you're not tipping your universe well enough, and give a bit more gratuity to that moment. An inquiring question for you would be, are you giving a fair percentage of gratuity to your service daily? As I am being of service, I am most grateful for the act of being able to serve without feeling as if I am a servant. With a humble and passionate attitude, I accept the ways in which I am of service in most moments to my tribe. With a widened perspective and fine-tuned attention, I see how my service reaches far and wide. This contribution to society is the reflected fountain of service that flows through me. Into the world, I pour my tea. So this wraps up paying all your attentions. So I ask you, where is your attention? Where are you contributing these irreplenishable resources, these irreplenishable currencies? Take this into your next days as you continue on. Take these into your meditations to deepen a closer insight into your mystic. For this is the shifting of these vibratory words that resonate through us. And may this story take you on as you go deeper and deeper into the world that is beyond. Thank you for tuning in to this week's episode of Optimistic Insight. I trust that these words have created new ways for you to utilize them and the emotions attached to them, opening up our perception on the way these words are viewed and processed daily can be the optimistic insight we need to create more fluid state of being.